Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. It's always a pleasure to come your way. This is Sheila Noy of Destiny Shapers with Sheila Noy. How are you doing? I trust you are doing well with your families. We are back again with Professor Emmanuel Otoo is here with us again to share his final insight, to give us more insight into the book we've been talking about, The Richest Man in Babylon. I know you will agree with me that these three sessions have been a blessing, and I hope you are applying the nugget he's sharing with us. My hope and prayer is that next year by this time, we can come back and share our testimonies. We can come back and say that we listened to Prof and we used the knowledge, the wisdom he shared with us, and we applied them. We saved our 10%. And we have accrued some amount of money we have invested and we have benefited. So I hope this will be your testimony next year by this time. So we are welcoming Prof. Prof, we are so blessed to have you. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you very much for receiving me. I'm doing great and ready to go.
Awesome. I don't know if you want to still share a little bit of yourself. If there is somebody watching us for the first time, maybe they would want to know a little bit of your background. So you can do a little bit of that, and then I will allow you to take the platform and share all the wisdom, the nugget you have for us. I am ready, and I know the Destiny Shapers community is also ready. So thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. I'm Professor Emmanuel Otoo, a research scientist at the CSIR Crop Research Institute. And I am a chief research scientist. That is the highest grade you can get. And then I'm a lecturer into research methods at the CSIR College of Science and Technology. And basically, that's my background. And if you have been listening to us, you know that I'm a Ghanaian, domiciled in Ghana. And so this evening, we will continue our discussions on the richest man in Babylon. A bit of a recap. I remember we stated emphatically that the book made it clear that our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of the individuals of the nation. And we hinted that this has been the problem with, unfortunately, the underdeveloped world, where the leadership often thinks that once they are wealthy, we are wealthy. But they turn it around. They don't know that we have to let the citizenry prosper, and then we can tax them and be rich as a nation. And we also came to the understanding that when you talk of success, you are talking of achievement or accomplishment of a result as a result of some effort. And we also agreed that preparation is very necessary for you to be successful. And we can not be wiser than our thoughts. And to acquire, keep, and then make our surpluses work for us. That is the key to our success. We got to know that there lived a certain city named Babylon. And Babylon, we all know the biblical narration of Babylon. And if you come to the understanding that God Himself felt that those guys were so united and determined in their purpose that He had to change their language, that should tell you the kind of people they are. We understood that they are men of reason. And for that matter, they had a particular hall known as the Temple of Learning. where as long as you enter that place, your credentials doesn't matter. All that matters is your idea. So at that point, slaves, nobility, they all gather and share ideas. And so it came to pass that this city became so prosperous to the extent that nations were encamping around them, hoping to take a bite of their riches. But we realize that what they did about 6,000 years ago is so relevant to us today. Our concern today is how do we make money? How do we become successful? But we learn from them that they had absolute principles that they applied, and that caused them to be rich. So we set it upon ourselves to study Babylon, how they did it, and how we can also emulate them. So we heard that to be rich, you need to learn to live on less than what you earn. You need to seek advice from those who know. And also, you have to know how you make your good work for you. So we entered into the discussion on how we can fatten our purses. And we learned that you can start to fatten your purse by spending less, controlling your expenditure, making your good multiply for you, guiding your treasures from loss, making their dwelling a profitable investment, ensuring a future income, and increasing our ability to earn. We went deeper into these discussions. So if you have to, you can always go to part 1 and have an in-depth analysis of these things that we talked about. In the second part, we look at the role of goddess good luck. We realize that basically a lot of people want to meet this lady. They want to meet this lady. Unfortunately, this lady often, all those who say they want to meet him look for her at the gambling places and other places. So we realize that if it exists at all, he rewards men of action.
Mm.
It's only the men of action that often meet the goddess of good luck. So we know that the goddess of good luck always rewards men of action. And so it should tell us that if we work hard, this goddess will visit us. We learn the 5 laws of gold, where we learn that the gold will be ready to work for you if you apply them to profitable ventures. We also learn that gold will work hard and happily for its owner if you can find a good venture and let them work for you. They also claim to the protection of a cautious owner. So if you are careful in your dealings with your money, your gold will stay by you. We know that gold can slip away from the man who does not know how to handle Good. So today we are going to take a bit of a study into the gold lender of Babylon, and we will go through almost the whole chapters left in the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, and learn some few lessons there. But I'll start by saying that in our quest to be rich or live a comfortable life, as a student of life, I've studied quite a lot of it. And I like the way one man beautifully put it. Success is not always reaching out for something you do not have, but rather reaching over and rearranging the pieces already there. So what it means is that it may be that you don't necessarily have to make new money, but you have money that you are wrongly spending it. If you reorganize yourself, you will realize that probably you are buying a lot of things that you don't need. How many of us can confidently say that when we go into our wardrobes, we won't find things that we bought so expensively and yet we are not wearing? We are waiting for the big day to wear it, and the big day never comes. Yet we meet big days every day. Similarly, we will see that we've bought so many things in our houses, in our rooms, and wherever that we actually do not need them. So if you reorganize yourself, you will realize that you are richer than what you think you are.
That's powerful.
So I went into the Bible, the Kabbalah, and all the other religious books, trying to find out what they say about sources, riches. And I found this beautiful continuum, which I have termed EFT continuum: effort, faith, trust, continuum. Effort, faith, trust, continuum. Effort meaning that we do not rely on goodies from elsewhere. We don't wait for miracles to happen. We have to work hard and create the capacity to receive sources. Because if we look at the example of the woman, the widow, who went to the man and requested that he should assist her to pay her debt. One, she was asked to go home and bring whatever she has, and then look for vessels that they are going to pour the oil into. So what he has, what she has, she needed containers to even contain what she has after it has been blessed. And then before that encounter, she thought she had nothing. So after it was blessed, she realized that the containers in the place cannot be enough. She had to go out and get a lot of containers to be able to come and receive the blessing that is coming. So some effort will have to come out of us. We have to create the vessel or condition to which the blessing can come and elevate the world. And God bless those efforts with sources. We know that God is always on time. And if you create a vessel, you get a smaller blessing. So the issue is, what vessel do we have? What vessel are we creating? So our effort means that If we want bigger blessing, let us create bigger vessels that will contain the blessings that are going to come.
mm,
The next thing is faith. Faith means that we know we cannot do it ourselves. We cannot do it all by ourselves. We understand that we did not create the world. We don't even know what is going to happen the next minute. And we don't know anything. It's good for our sanity that we have faith. For the simple reason that we believe that somebody created the world. It doesn't matter the name you give to that person. He created the world. You believe that. And the blessing of this earth is of God. And he says, I am God, and I bless whom I will bless, and curse who I will curse. So you cannot take him out of the equation.
mm,
You cannot take him out of the equation. If you do all your effort and he says that God forgive, forbid, this one I won't bless, of course, it's a failure. So faith is very important. And if we are saying that it's not automatic, cause and effect, whenever you put in an effort, it doesn't mean that that is going to be successful. So if that is the case, then why are we working?
mm,
But then we trust that he wish above all things that we prosper
mm,
and be in good health. And so out of his grace, he shower his blessings unto us. So even as we are putting our efforts, creating the vessels for it to be blessed, we believe that he will bless them. And we
mm,
trust that if even we don't get it as we are expecting it, he will attend to us. And I often use the example of your child coming to you that I want a blade. For the child, she just may think that, oh, I want to play with it. But you knowing what blade can do to your child
mm,
may decide that if the child wants to cut something, I would rather cut it for the child, break it for the child, or do whatever it is, but to not to leave the blade with the child. That's exactly how it is.
mm,
We can't see the end. We only see just beyond our noses. So we assume that what we want is what we need. But he who being God and knowing us will reward us accordingly out of the abundance of his grace. So this effort, faith, trust, continue. You don't stop.
mm,
You don't stop. That's why it's a continuum. You have to continue your efforts. You have to continue believing and trusting in the Almighty. And then you move from step to step, step to step. One may ask, if creating vessels is all it takes for me and some faith and trust, then me, I won't sleep. I'll keep on working and hope that because I'm working so much, progress should be with me. Working several hours always is not the answer, because you need to balance the quality and purpose for your existence. If you get all the money and then health-wise you are unhealthy, I bet you beg somebody to come and take the money and give you health. Your children, your family, maybe all your children growing. By the time you collect all the riches you want before you come. They are already grown and gone. And you will miss that opportunity of bonding with them. So it presupposes that in our quest to be successful, to get wealth, you have to balance it with other purposes in life and then the quality of your life. So you should be able to decide that, okay, 10 hours a day is okay for me, so that I can have 2 hours to be with my family, to
Powerful.
attend to other things. So it's very important that we know that we have to balance our time between getting rich and knowing what to do with the riches.
Mm,
Because you want to get the riches for your family to be better, for yourself to be better, and that kind of thing. So when are you going to enjoy that riches?
mm,
We also must be realistic and know that sometimes we take up tasks beyond our capacity and strength.
mm,
We should be realistic to know that what I am targeting, I don't have the capacity or the strength to do this now. Even though I trust in God, I have faith in God, but this one is such that I need to get there gradually.
mm,
We've poured, we've already talked about the widows, the widower, and when I was studying, I came across very important issue. The question was, why was the widower asked, the widow asked to close the door and start pouring the oil?
mm,
And I found an interesting answer. As long as you open the doors, people passing by
mm,
will start commenting, what's wrong with this widow?
mm,
Now she's packing containers in her room,
mm,
collecting people's containers.
mm.
What is she thinking that is going to happen?
Wow.
That small oil in that bottle, what can it do? It will sow doubt in us.
Mm,
So it is said that miracles like privacy.
mm.
So sometimes when God is blessing us, as one preacher put it, shut your mouth,
Wow.
shut
Powerful.
your mouth.
Powerful.
And the rabbi said, interestingly, when you are expecting a check, let it reflect in your account before you tell somebody.
Wow.
The check, even the check coming, let it reflect in the account before. What we have to understand is that nothing we do will go waste.
Mm,
As we said earlier, wherever human effort is wasted, is exerted, wealth is created. Nature doesn't want a waste, and it's
mm,
the way God works. And there was a story, interesting one that I read from the uh, rabbi, where he was saying that there was a man who went for a blessing so that uh, he will be rich. But the man had a horse, and all that he wanted was that he was expecting the blessing to come through the horse that he was riding. So almost 5 years he went to the uh, priest, he was prayed for, and nothing happened.
mm.
The year that the horse died, he decided that my horse is no more. So let me attend to other things. When he was blessed, he became so successful. And so he went back. What is it that all these years I come, you bless me, and then nothing happens? This year that actually my horse that I treasure died, I came, you blessed me, and it's all success. And he told him that you had so much trust in your horse
Mm.
that you were avoiding the opportunities around you. You were not seeing the opportunities around you. You think that you went to school, you did civil engineering,
Mm.
So opportunity has come for selling of chemicals. That's not mine. Mine is civil engineering. Opportunity has come for somebody to talk about an issue that you are well versed in. You think that that's not yours. It should come in the area where I was trained.
Powerful.
So sometimes we miss the opportunities just
Mm.
because we've closed our eyes to the opportunities around us and we are expecting God to bless us in a particular way. And so if it is not that way, we will not receive the blessing. I wanted also to talk about certain languages that we've been using. We know, and we think that if we say somebody is smart, that person should know everything.
Mm.
And unfortunately, in our part of the world, it has come to denote something else. Years gone by, people are very proud to be trustworthy. Now, people would like to do all sorts of things to get what is not due them.
Mm.
And they will classify it as being smart. But as one man put it, no matter how nice a name you give to corruption,
Mm.
it is corruption.
Mm.
You can give it a wonderful name so that you'll be comfortable doing what you are doing. But the truth is that a goat is a goat.
Mm.
No matter how you color it, it will still be a goat. So the truth of the matter is that if you are smart, the true definition of smartness is the one who learns from everybody.
Mm. We have to
Learn
have.
something that is also wrong. So we should qualify the smartness.
Mm.
And if you are really smart, you need to hang around smart people.
Mm.
As we say in our palace, show me your friend and I'll show you your character.
Mm.
Some honored and honorable has become a common word. But the truth is that anybody who is honorable should honor everybody,
Mm.
should be able to respect the small and the big. But the truth is, if you don't hang around honorable people, you can't be honorable.
Mm.
We know that everybody wants to be rich. How much is rich? And I will attempt to say, repeat the words of Peter Tosh. Everybody wants to get to the top,
Mm.
but how far is it from the bottom?
Mm.
Nobody knows. We all want to get to the top. How far is it from the bottom? But then nobody knows. So you give somebody 1 million, he want 2 million.
Mm.
Give him 2 million, he want 4. Give me 4, he will want 10. And I remember a very beautiful issue, a joke, where somebody went to the church and was praying to God, please, Lord, give me 1,000 cities. And the guy was shouting, sweating. And the man next by just asked him to get up and collect 1,000 and go because he has serious issues to talk with God. And you are disturbing God with your 1,000 cities request. So what you think is if you get this, you'll be happy. If you get it and you are not disciplined, you will never be happy.
Mm.
So to be rich, you should be able to be content with your lot. You should be someone who is content with his lot. And I say that a true measure of how successful you are is how well you sleep. You spend the whole night trying to sleep. If there is any reason to keep you awake, you are not successful.
Mm.
If there is any reason to keep you awake during the night, then you are not successful. Success should be such that you have your riches, you are content with your riches, you can sleep and take a deep sleep
Mm.
and wake up. And the same with the concept of strength, strong. Who is strong? And I saw a beautiful picture, video on WhatsApp where a guy in a karate dress was trying to show how you defend yourself against someone who is strong. So after standing there, the strong man holding him, he turned and said, "If a strong man holds you like this, please beg him." We're all expecting a karate trick to floor the strong guy. But the guy said, "No, please beg him." Sometimes being strong is knowing when to quit. Knowing when to quit, especially when there is so much success.
Mm.
So we know it is said that he who conquers the self is mightier than the one who conquers the whole city. That is self-discipline, mastering yourself. And if you have that kind of strength, you will realize that your quest for becoming rich will be easier. You are disciplined. So the little that comes to you, your 1/10 you put aside, you fatten your purse, control your expenditure, and then reinvest what you have managed to acquire. If you do, success is on your way. I'll give you another example in our book, The Richest Man in Babylon. What do often young men do? They go a borrowing
Mm.
whenever they hear of any opportunity, investment opportunity. Most of these scams play on our greed. They play on our greed. And I remember very well the guy who first brought in this I've forgotten the name, but this scheme, I've forgotten the name of the scheme. But then we know of the schemes that these young men, uh, the is it poncho or something? I've forgotten. When the guy was taken to court, that for almost 20 years you've been able to cheat people out of their money. Why? Ponzi scheme. Sorry, Ponzi scheme. You know the Ponzi schemes. They will
Yes.
ask you to bring your money, and then they give you so much returns in a short while.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as they get people to bring their money, the scheme keep on running.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely it's going to grind to a halt.
Yep.
But when the guy was taken to a court and asked, "Why were you able to do this thing for a long time?" He said, "People are greedy.
Hmm.
So I played on their greed. What am I doing that I can generate so much to pay you so much benefit?" They know and didn't care as long as I give them their money. And so let's get back to the richest man in Babylon. This young man borrowed from all sort of people and never paid. Ultimately, he decided to do what? Run away.
Hmm.
He ran away and ended up being a slave because after running away,
We hope we are not losing Prof. Okay, I'm loving this discussion and I hope everybody watching is also loving it. Can you share one thought? Something you have learned and you want to take home with you? Something special you have learned that you want to apply for the next 12 months? So that next year by this time, you'll come back and share your story with us. You can put it in the comments. If you have also not watched the first and the second videos, please go back. It is there on YouTube and on Facebook. Part one and part two of the nuggets we are learning from Prof. From the book The Richest Man in Babylon. I can assure you, you need a copy of this book, every one of us. You can listen to the video on YouTube. You can buy this book on Amazon. I'm sure you even find it anywhere you are in bookstores. You can also Google for the PDF. It's free. You can get it and take your time and read it with your families. This is amazing. It is amazing. Um, in our first discussion, I took home this. It said, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you. So every time you are paid, you have, as a Christian, you pay your tithe, but also pay yourself. Pay a 1/10 of your income, put it aside, save it. It could be $1, it could be one city. Just be consistent and keep saving it. It will amaze you by the end of the year. If it was $1, you would have saved $12 or $24, depending on how often you get paid. If it's one city and you are paying one city a month, you would have saved 12 cities. And then after a while, you need to invest what you have saved. Don't just keep it and then use it. Invest your savings. Look for a successful venture and invest in it. It could be a bank, it could be, and we are going to talk about this later, so I don't want to go ahead of myself, but there are so many ways to invest. Find something that is reasonable and you can trust and invest in it and see it grow. Because you know what? We often rely on social security. That is after you go on retirement. That's tiny thing that they give to you. That is what we rely on. But we want as destiny shapers to make provision. Aside what we are getting, we want to make provision for our retirement. So when we retire, we'll retire peacefully. We will enjoy our lives, and our families will also rejoice with us. We'll be able to take care of ourselves. We will not become a burden to our families and society. Welcome back, Prof. I give it back to you. Thank you.
thank you very much. So, as I was saying, um, we realize that you have to have a certain attitude if you are to be successful. And most often, as I said, most young men, when they are owing, will start running away. That's not the way to go. When our friend became so indebted that he felt that he cannot pay the debt, so he had to run away. He ran away and ended up being a slave. And then, as a slave, he was almost castrated to be an eunuch. But the mercies of God someone had mercy on him. He became a horse tender, and then that person gave him money to run away because he felt that if you have it in you to be successful, you should not accept slavery. You shouldn't accept slavery. So you shouldn't accept the fact that you know that your conditions are not good, but you have accepted it and you are sitting down. You know that you can do better. You can acquire more wealth. You can create wealth. Yet you've given up. The beginning of your revival, of your freedom, is having the determination, the will, the zeal to get out of poverty.
mm,
That is paramount. And as it is said, wherever there is a will, there is a way. Start small. Pay your tithe. Pay your tithe also to yourself. Create wealth. Know that the wealth of a rich man is not in his purse.
mm,
It's about the networks that he has
mm,
and the numerous investment that keep on pouring money into his lap. The other time we mentioned the fact that some of us will have to pay the black tax.
mm.
And I'm no way against black tax because I've been a beneficiary of it.
Okay, hopefully Prof will rejoin. Our internet is a bit slow, but God bless you
Find a
all for
trade
joining.
that they can attend to. So if they tax you, it should be going into their development so that they can stand on their own in no time.
Mm,
But just as we said, if we plant a tree and we don't allow the tree to grow
mm,
and we decide to sit under it, we'll kill the tree. When we kill the tree, we have lost so much because the tree is supposed to give us fruit, the fruit containing seed. So future generations would have benefited from that particular tree, but we've killed it.
mm,
Let us also understand that luck, if it exists at all, reward men of action.
mm,
Luck, if it exists at all, rewards men of action. It is when preparation meets opportunity that luck comes to play. And so, on that note, I will end here. And if our lovely hosts have anything else to add, if not, we'll meet again. And hopefully, as she said, we'll meet and we'll be willing, eager to share our story of success, how far we've come after hearing the richest man in Babylon. So, Sheila, over to you.
Thank you so much, Prof. You have been a blessing to me and my family. And honestly, when we started discussing this book, you made it become so real to us. Uh, our discussions open our eyes more, and we know what to do even better now. And I'm hoping that all my destiny shapers are also doing the same. They are getting more insight, they are reflecting and asking questions, and they have started paying themselves as they get paid. You know, um, yes, thank you, Sister Akos. I appreciate you and all everybody that is watching, Mr. Noy, Mr. Emmanuel Noy, Henry Noy, Mr. Stephen Aqua, Miss Emmanuela Otoo, I know there are others watching on Facebook. Auntie Dorcas, my mama Dorcas. Um, yes, Steve, and then Emmanuel. I know Sister Gladys was also there. I appreciate you all, and I appreciate everybody that will be watching later on. Honestly, there are some books you read and you know that you need to take an action. I have a pile of books here on my table, and once in a while I'm looking at them and reading some of them. But when I got hold of this, I'm like, I cannot keep this to myself. I need to talk about this book, and that is why we um, took time to talk about it into details. There are reviews here and there, but we took our time to really dive deep to benefit us. And this is a book you read, and you know, right from day one, you are taking action because we've done so much, we've made so much mistakes. And I think it's time for us to correct our mistake. Talking about black tax, I am I have benefited from black tax, and I'm also paying my dues. And you know what? Sometimes you know that it gets to a point and you have to say enough is enough. I need to do something. I need to correct things because that black tax, if you are not careful, you won't do nothing. You cannot save nothing. You get paid and everything goes into that black tax. And you are like, for how long? A little here, a little there, and the stories will come later, and it's a lot. Yes, we need to help people around us. We need to help lift people. If it's somebody that you are helping pay their school fees, you are giving them money to set up a business. It is good. But if it's that person who has planned that I am not going to work, I am going to live off this my relative, then you need to think twice. I learned something from a sister who was sharing about enabling. You see, when somebody keeps coming and you keep giving the person, you are enabling the person to continue to be lazy. And I think that is where most of us are. We are afraid that, oh, if I don't help the person, uh, something bad will happen. And we keep helping them. We are feeding them. We are paying for their rent. We are paying for their fees. We are helping them. They are getting old. We are also getting old. And we are feeding them. I ask myself, so when I go on retirement, can I help these people again? It's no. So we need to help them by helping to bring them up.
You'll be
Let's show
exempted from
them,
the black tax.
yes, yes. You see, there are people that you want to nurture, they want to learn how to fish. I love those people. But those people that always just want the fish to eat, we need to stop enabling them. In 2022, we need a story. We need to change the story.
Yeah.
And I am challenging all of us. Let's start paying ourselves after we have paid our tithes, our offerings, and every other thing. A little here, a little support there. Put something aside. As destiny shaper, you want to make sure you are turning the narrative to make sure in future you are your relatives or the people that are looking up to you become blessed and you become a blessing unto them as well. So thank you all very much for joining us. God bless you, Prof. I know you are not going to stop sharing. I know we have more things to share, and I'm looking forward to more time with you. And we are hoping that everybody will come also to share, their experiences from this discussion. If you want to contact Prof, I have displayed his email address and his contact number. You can call him for more insight. He's wonderful. If you want all the nitty gritties of wisdom, call him, email him. I know he's willing to share. And I've told him one of these days he will come back and share his life story. Amazed. And I know you'll be blessed. And by the way, did you hear the news that I set a goal to write a book and I came out with the
Wow.
first one? How to self publish and earn a little income and save and invest, you know? So please go on Amazon. It is there. You can get the paperback, and you can also get the ebook. And we are hoping for more to come. So God bless you all. In the meantime, subscribe to Destiny Shapers with Sheila Noy on YouTube. And please share with your friends. Encourage people to subscribe as well and support us to reach more people and become a blessing. So God bless you. I don't know if Prof has something final to share before we say goodbye. You have something more to say or no?
Hello?
Hi, do you have something to say before we close the curtain?
No,
Okay.
I think I will encourage all of us.
Mhm.
That it's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late to start at all. And as our sister mentioned the other time, when we are closer to our retirement, then the importance of partnership becomes very important. It becomes very significant if you can partner with somebody to do something because you may not have enough time. I
Mm,
know in our part of the world the issue of trust is very important, and that has been the bane of many. So find like-minded individuals that can partner with you and let them share the same principles that we are sharing. And I trust that God Himself will crown your efforts with success. Never forget the EFT continuum:
mm,
effort, faith, trust.
awesome.
Remember, effort, faith, trust continuum. That
Amen.
is the key to success. On that note, God bless us all, and until we meet again, shalom.
Shalom. Goodbye. I love you all.
Bye.
Bye.